So, you've probably heard all the talk lately, right? That the era of the US dollar, it's over. But what if that's not the whole story? What if, behind the scenes, America is launching a massive counterattack? Not on the old battlefield, but on a brand new digital one to keep its top spot. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on that secret strategy. All right, let's just get right into it. This is the question on everybody's mind. For decades, the dollar has been king, no question. But now, it feels like the throne is shaking. The story of how it got so powerful and how it might fall, it all really starts with one thing: oil. To really get what's happening today, you have to understand how the dollar's power was built in the first place. And maybe more importantly, how that foundation is starting to crack right in front of us. It all kicked off way back in 1974. The US made this incredible deal with Saudi Arabia. Basically, we'll protect you, we'll be your security. In return, you have to sell your oil only in US dollars. And just like that, the petrodollar system was born. It was kind of like the ultimate cheat code for the American economy for the next 50 years. Now, the way this worked was, it's actually pretty simple, but the effect was huge. Just think about it. If you're any country in the world, you need oil to run your economy. And to buy that oil, what did you need? US dollars. It meant that every single country had to get their hands on dollars, creating this constant, never-ending demand. It basically let the US stay on top, no matter what. But that system, which seemed like it would last forever, is now showing some serious cracks. You've got the BRICS nations actively trying to knock the dollar off its perch. And this isn't just some small protest, it's a full-on assault. Look at this. Saudi Arabia just let that 50-year deal expire. China's now buying oil with its own currency, the yuan. Even Iran is demanding yuan to let ships pass through the most important oil choke point on the planet. I mean, this is a massive shift. And you know, the numbers back this up. This whole de-dollarization thing, it's not just a theory, it's really happening. At its absolute peak, the dollar was 72% of all the money that central banks held around the world. Today, it's down to 59%. You can't argue with that trend. So the big question is, does the empire just give up? Just let it happen? Absolutely not. This is where the story takes a huge turn. Instead of trying to defend the old system, America decided to build an entirely new battlefield for its counterattack. And that new battlefield is digital. The fight for financial dominance has moved away from the oil fields and onto the blockchain. This is the beginning of a whole new game. So America's new playbook is a classic 1-2 punch: offense and defense. Let's start with the offense. The weapon of choice? The digital dollar, also known as stablecoins. And the goal is simple: get it onto every single smartphone on the planet. Now, the key to this whole thing is a proposed law they're calling the Genius Act. And honestly, it's pretty brilliant. The idea is this: if a private company wants to create a digital dollar, they have to back every single one they issue with a real US Treasury bond. So what does that mean? It means the more people around the world use these digital dollars, the more US government debt they are forced to buy. It creates automatic, endless demand. It's wild. And if you think this is some tiny niche market, get a load of this number. For 2024 alone, the amount of money moved using stablecoins is projected to be $27 trillion. Just to put that number in perspective for you, that $27 trillion is more than Visa and MasterCard's volume combined. It's like this massive new financial superhighway already exists, and America's plan is to basically claim it as its own. Okay, so we've seen the offense, that digital dollar push. Now let's talk about the shield. The second part of the strategy is defense, and for that, they've chosen Bitcoin. But they're not treating it like a currency. They're treating it like digital gold, something to be stockpiled in the national treasury. The way the US government sees Bitcoin has done a complete 180. It's no longer just some weird, volatile asset for speculation. No. Now it's being treated as a critical, strategic national asset, right up there with the gold bars in Fort Knox. So why is this so important? Well, because it's not about making money, it's about national security. It's an unhackable network, which is the ultimate shield in cyberspace. It could be used as a secret communications channel for the military. And maybe most important, there's only a limited amount of it. It's a digital land grab. Whoever gets it first wins. So far, the US government has gotten its hands on over 200,000 Bitcoin. But the exact number isn't the point. The point is what they said about it. They declared, "We will never sell this." By calling it a permanent asset for the nation's future, they're basically screaming to the world, this isn't an investment, this is our strategic reserve. Okay, so all the pieces are starting to fall into place now. What we're seeing is the birth of a brand new financial system, one where all the old rules are being thrown out. This is Dollar 2.0. And this chart just nails the difference. Dollar 1.0, the petrodollar, was all about force. It made nations use the dollar because they needed oil. But this new version, Dollar 2.0, it's all about desire. It's about making billions of individuals all over the world want to use the dollar on their phones because it's just so easy and convenient. The potential scale of demand is it's on a completely different level. And what this all means is that the very center of global power is shifting. We're moving away from a world run by nations and oil and into a new world that's going to be dominated by individuals and code. And we're living through that change right now. And hey, if you think this is all just some wild theory, listen to this. This is a quote from a U.S. Federal Reserve governor. He said, "The real opportunity with stablecoins is to give the dollar to people in regions who want to use it but can't." They're literally saying it out loud. The plan is to bypass foreign governments entirely and put a digital dollar directly in the hands of every single person on Earth. A brand new dollar empire. So the battlefield isn't physical anymore. It's the blockchain, where code is the law and anyone with a phone can be a soldier. In this new kind of global war, who do you think is going to come out on top? Something to think about.